Good morning and welcome. I hope you all got some rest. I did get rest. I don't know how well you can hear me here. It might be a bit quiet. I'm getting sick. This is the most this is the loudest I've been all day. So we're hanging in there. Today's going to be really short. May only have like an hour in me or something like that. But uh, wanted to talk about some exciting things and just sort of explain where things are at. Uh, the good news and the exciting news is that I'm calling it version 0.01 of the game that I'm working on is out. Uh, and we're just going to go over sort of what that is, what was entailed, how stuff is working, and then you get to watch me sort of upload that for everybody and get all of the stuff done. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and quick pop over to our game view, take a look at what we've made and how it all works, and just all the stuff. I pardon me if I need to stop every so often just to breathe. So, this is our game. Technically, this is not our game. This is just the title screen here. Let's go over to Playable. Let's open up the small arena. And this is a small arena. So the very, very first thing that we have is, you know what, actually, I'm going to do this a bit differently. Rather than show you under the hood first, I'll show you the finished result first. We'll do it that way. So let me actually go back to the main menu here. I'm so sorry. All right, yeah, so we'll show this off like this. So this is the title screen. Whenever you open it up for the first time, it's the double-sided project. Again, that is not a permanent name. That's just what I'm calling it for now. Um, this pops up. We've got our little in-game background, so we could change this to any number of things going on, which I'll love to do in the future. Right down here, we have our quit button. So if you hit quit, then of course you quit. But over here we've got just two buttons, join session and create session. Join session does not do anything at the moment because I'm the only person who's currently interacting with the game. However, if you have this project and you download it, you can play on a local network. So what that means is that if you have an internet connection like Wi-Fi in your house or whatever, and you put this on two computers, then each of you could, like one of you could create a session and then the other person could join it. Currently, there's no like browser or anything like that to find other sessions. It's just you click, wait for a few seconds with that feedback, and then join if there's another game. And I've just tested that. It does work, so everything is good to go on that end. But we'll go ahead and create a session here so I can click the button, and we've got our little player character. A player character can run around. It's synchronized between client and replicated and all that stuff, which was a new territory for me. I hadn't done anything quite like that before. As you run around, you can use a controller or the WASD keys. Jump, of course. If you hold right click, I don't think there's an option for this for a controller, but if you hold right click, you can lock the camera to point in the same direction that you are. Toss balls out, and you can see I've got a counter there for the number of balls I have going down. If I run up to these balls, I can run up and I can pick them up again. And and then with multiple people, if you throw these balls and they hit the other person, they have 3 hit points, as you can sort of see here. Once they've been hit 3 times, they'll simply just, that character will go away, and then they'll respawn at one of the spawn points. One of the cool things is that the balls are not player specific, so you can pick up the dodgeballs of other players. So if I like throw and miss, and if you're quick enough, you can actually catch a ball before it hits you. I have a bunch of debug stuff turned on, so if I come down here, you can actually see these sort of stop this ball here. Small, faint red lines on the outline of the ball. That is the collision of the ball itself. And then there's this kind of outer line outside that, very faint. I think you can see it there. But that is the pickup range. So you can actually catch a ball before it hits you. No scoring implemented yet. None of that good stuff implemented yet. Just the basics. Anyway, we can do this at some point if we choose to do so. We can press Tab. Tab will open up our menu here, and that all player control is disabled at the moment, so I can't click on anything. I can resume play if I want, and then I can also quit. Quitting the game will take me back to the main menu. And of course, if you are a client in a networked game and you quit, then you'll go back to the main menu, but the server game will still continue going. And you could rejoin that too if you wanted to. So create session, quit, all of this stuff. This is the very, very basics of what you need to get a game up and running. Is we've got a little bit of user interface. We've got a character that can move around and do things. We've got all of the kind of like standard things. I know in a lot of places you'd call this boilerplate. It is basically boilerplate game. And then, of course, there's all of the visual that exists with this so far. So we've got materials, we've got objects, we've got simulation going on. No collision on the trees, but that's an easy fix and just something that didn't seem particularly important for this first start here. Because it's fun to run around. And this is the only level, so this is all, again, just the foundation of everything. So with this in place, I'm going to go ahead and quit, and then quit out through the menus there. And it tells me it doesn't like some things, and that's okay. But that is what we've got for the very, very foundational version of the whole game. So I'm going to go back to this sort of playable area here. Now let's take a look, again, just sort of under the hood at some of the other things that exist and why this is version 1.0. Is I wanted to also like develop some art style things, which is great. Everything here is textured using just one texture, which is a gradient. And then things outside of that are done sort of dynamically, if you will. So we have our alpha leaves here, which are supposed to represent sort of like brush strokes. Most things we're doing made out of brush strokes. Let me find one of the pink flowers. Spent a lot of time on figuring out how we were making these and such. Lots of fun things. Currently, the black texture on the trees is being created using triplanar projection. We have that with master materials, so all of this is set up and instanced correctly, which is awesome. The other thing too is that with our player character, if I pop back in here, I did get all of the camera stuff sorted out, especially with zoom. So the whole goal is to create this kind of tilt shift effect, which is a little miniaturized effect. So it is supposed to feel like you've got a little character running around a kind of miniature world, which is awesome. But there are issues with it. I don't know if you can see up near the top, there's a blur effect. That's kind of important to creating this miniature effect. It helps sell the illusion a lot. There's a little bit of blur down here at the bottom as well. And it's now set up so that you can actually like zoom in and like change your perspective, the direction that you're looking at things, and that blur changes accordingly. So all of these things are fixed and working and great. Um, Pardon me. I'm so sorry. I know a couple of you have joined. I am doing this as a live stream just because I don't want to record and edit a video. So, A, thank you guys for joining in, but B, also, I'm sick in case you missed the first few seconds of this. Anyway, um, uh, what was I talking about? Yeah, basically just everything is in and like workflows are set up so that you can actually create stuff and it will work and do well. There is one additional little thing, which is every match has a maximum limit timer. That's up in the top left. Currently, that's just drawn to screen. It's a little tiny blue text. Probably like I would have to get it into a dark shadow here for you to even notice it. Um, yeah, something like that up there. Anyway, the important thing is that like we have a process, we have a workflow, all of our like, or well, not all, but like a number of our master materials and interfaces and everything is all set up. Our default classes are set up in a lot of ways. So all the good stuff you need in order to start building is there. Um, And that's it. A nice clean like file structure, nice clean, just everything is clean, everything works. And now we can start getting to the hard part, right? The actual doing of stuff. So that's it. I'm going to spend today, most of today, taking care of myself. But what I can do is we're actually going to show off here the last things. This file can be downloaded for the patrons I have. I don't know. I mean, actually, I'm so sorry. Patrons only. So this is old stuff from an old project I had. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these guys for now. Uh, do I have the option to delete them? There it is. I haven't used Google Drive enough. I've been very bad and irresponsible with my patrons. But now for patrons, we've got this. It's uploading here, and that's going to take a hot minute. But this is the double-sided executable version 0.01. So that is currently being uploaded for everyone and making a little post for patrons on it. And I'll do that here. So awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all set up and going off in the background. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about today before I like sign off and square up and get out of here is just the roadmap for what's going to be happening next. So let me pull over. I got a little notepad here. Let's pull this guy over. So the very, very first thing was to get in all of the stuff that is going to be built upon in order to get the game working, right? And a lot of this was like figuring out network replication and how to uh, basically just make a multiplayer game, which isn't something I've had to do before, and was actually surprisingly complicated. I wasn't ready for it to be as difficult as it was. But the good news is that most of the learning that I've had to do exists at the top of this list, which means that things should go smoother and quicker as I start to work my way down, which is great, right? So the next thing is, okay, with this uploaded and out for everybody, what comes next and where do we go from there? Um, Next thing to start working on is the next version, and for that I want to do a couple things. I want to create scoring, lobbies, match options so you can actually set a time limit for your match, and then an actual options menu. I know things like blur and perhaps this effect, despite the fact I really want to push for it, could cause problems for people, maybe nausea, stuff like that. So I do want to have it be something that you can turn off. So getting in a scoring system, an actual lobby system, and then match just options in general, even the basics for it. That's going to be the next version. And then after that, I can start working on everything that was in the design document. So the design document was a video I did a while ago. It was about, I think, like 45 minutes long or something like that on how to design a game. And it's all of the goals and sort of aspirations for what this game will be like. Um, so the next version after that is to create the body, so that when that body dies, you repossess a soul, and then that soul can move around, collect essence, and turn back in a body, and sort of get that mechanic loop going. After that, we'll add in what I assume is going to be the only AI controlled creature, which is the Great Spirit, or that's what I'm calling it for now, which is actively going to avoid players and use AI and generate essence for the spirits to try and get. And then the next several versions are just creating the meshes, rigs, and animations for a simple sort of stand-in character, because we haven't made like I do want there to be specific characters, like you pick heroes in Overwatch or something like that. Similar concept here, but I need to have a like initial an initial character thing to start with, and so the next several versions are just making that kind of base form character, the body version and the soul version. And then the last bit is to take, once that's all implemented, uh, the ability to attack other bodies, complete with like a couple little animations to do so, and then replace some of the scoring systems and stuff like that, so that the very first version 0.1, like a big milestone, if you will, is that you have players. They can run around, join matches. They can fight each other. There's a scoring system in place to keep track of who's beating on who and how much. And then players, when they die, are able to run around, chase the Great Spirit, and recollect essence in order to get back into their bodies, back into the game, and continue having fun. And at that point, we will celebrate and then continue to work. Oh, I realize I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm covering this up a little bit. We'll move that over. So that's kind of the goal and roadmap to the version 0.1. The kicker here is the one at the bottom, and is just worth sort of talking about things in general. I don't like the idea of being or well, here, let me take a step back. Sessions are the term that Unreal Engine uses to create multiplayer environments, right? So whenever you create a session, what you're doing is you're creating an online lobby for people to join in, right? And the thing is that Unreal is structured so that by default, if you're creating a network connection of any kind, it literally is just a networked connection. It exists only over like a local area network that your computer can reach to. If you want to start creating like a server, for example, which is a thing that people can connect through the internet, you either a need to own a server, which, to be clear, I do not own a server, uh, which is just a big computer that does a bunch of whole stuff. But the other thing is that you can also use servers of third parties, and the third party that I'm aiming for and looking at is, of course, Steam, because they make it very easy. They have Unreal Engine 5 plugins so that you can create sessions through Steam, and a bunch of other stuff. So the goal is to get this up on Steam at some point. And when that happens, it'll be really nice because then we will not need to use that Google Drive in order to upload new versions or send out updates or try and test things. You can just go onto Steam, and through a your Steam library, the game will stay updated, and you can click play and have it operate just like any other game. The issue is that in order for Steam to, I realize it says I'm dropping frames here. Give me just a second to maybe get some stuff closed down here. Don't need that. Don't need that. Probably don't need that either. Let's go back. Let's see if that helped at all. I'm actually quick going to ask if the Steam, if the stream is pretty choppy there. Anyway, I digress. The goal is to get it up on Steam, and in order to do that, you need to have a Steamworks key, which is basically an individual license for your game to be put up onto the Steam servers, and that costs money. And that's kind of the ending note for today. Is I don't usually or really want to be like, hey, money makes the world go round, and as this progresses and gets more complex, money is needed just to keep going. But that is the way things work, right? So I do have a Patreon, and I'm going to start pushing for that more. It is, and I will go ahead and post this somewhere. You know what? I'll just for the sake of posterity, because funnily enough, I found out recently that YouTube doesn't even let you post links to outside funding sources. So we'll do this here. That way, I can just make it very clear uh, how I'm trying to generate money for this. So I am at patreon.com/destry. you, which is my name. But yeah, so as this starts to progress, if you want to play in the early stages, if you want to have feedback, if you want to do those things, Patreon is where we're going to be sort of fueling that ability to do so. Again, I really don't like pushing money things, but at the same time, it also is really helpful. I really wanted to spend the patrons that I have so far. I really wanted to spend the money that month, this month, on getting that license, but I was not able to because I needed it for food, which is the situation that I am in at the moment. So, you know, things and stuff. But yeah, that's the roadmap. That's what we've done and accomplished so far. That's seems to pause every few seconds or so, but we're not. Cool. Excellent. I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, so that's the goal. That's where we're at. That's what we have left to do, which is everything basically. Uh, but version that like sort of the first foundational version is here, and I made it. So you can download it now if you are a patron. And yeah, I'm excited to keep working on this. I'm excited to show things to you guys. Uh, Talking has been infinitely harder than I thought it was going to be. So and I'm so sorry for that. I don't imagine that this is a like particularly nasty bug. I feel like I will probably be over it in just a few days, hopefully, fingers crossed. But that's the plan, and yeah, we're just gonna start working on things one at a time. So if anyone has any questions, like please send them in chat or leave comments on the videos. I always enjoy reading comments. I don't always reply, but I do read everything. So yeah. I appreciate. Thank you so much. I am excited. I that there's a oh my goodness. There's a game. Let me see if I can remember. There was a game that got shown off at what was that game called? Uh, Sorry, give me like 2 seconds to find the name of something. Um, there was a game a long while ago, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. And it never came out, and I'm so sad. It was oh yeah, this what is this? ITER, EITR. I remember now a game. I wasn't gonna remember that name. There was a game that came out that was teased. They showed a trailer for it called ITER, and it was like an isometric pixel Dark Souls game basically that they revealed quite some time ago, and it was being made just by these two guys. And one of the things was it never came out. Like the project was too big, or they didn't get funding, or they lost interest, or whatever things, and it just never came out. It still says it's in development on Steam, I believe, but who knows if that is actually true. But the cool thing about that game is I remember watching an interview at I think it was Game Developers Conference or something like that, where they were talking about making that game, and they were saying how it was so ambitious for just these two guys to be making this really huge thing. Um, and one of the developers said, like, the advice that you're given when you're starting out, or when you're a small team or any of those things, is to aim low, like aim really low, make Flappy Birds. And when you can make Flappy Birds and you can put out Flappy Birds, then go make Tetris and like slowly work your way up from there. But start by making as like aim as low as you can, finish a project, and then move up. And during the interview with this guy, he was like, I hate that advice because, first of all, we have enough clones of all of those games already. And second of all, like, at least for my partner and I, and again, this is the developer of ITER talking, is for my partner and I, what's the point of doing something that's already been done and that you know will work, right? Is it earning money? Is it practice? Is it? He said, I would rather like aim as high as possible and sort of shoot for the stars and fail and like learn all of these new things and get outside of my comfort zone and try something that's impossible rather than do something that I know will work and I know will be just like a ripoff of someone else's work, right? And that really resonated with me and has sort of been something that I've thought about kind of forever, and is part of this and part of the last project I was working on. I do think the last project was maybe bigger in scope than I was capable of, but I don't think this is. I think this is something that I can do, and I'm excited to do it, and it's going smoothly so far. Um, smoothly. Uh, but it's a thing where it's just I would rather try and do this thing that I'm shaky on than just make Snake for you guys, which I could do, but like it's just it's not fun nor exciting in any way. So anyway, that was a long story. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I just yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate those of you who've been here for a long time, and I'm excited to keep moving forward and keep doing things. Um, I imagine as a statement that's sort of rumbling around my head, I imagine that once I get to, and I think it's in this same document, uh, once I get to a point where I've been able to afford to be able to put it on Steam, and once it's to a point where this sort of base mechanical vision has been realized, I imagine that there's um, that's true. No, that's true. Just saying that having smaller goals and achieving them can be a good source of motivation, and it can. But like my smaller goals are literally the goals I'm setting within this project. Like learn how to take the next step, and then take that step, and then complete it, and then that's the motivation. So whereas the project as a whole might be beyond my scope, the each step is the thing that I'm trying to accomplish next. Well, now my internet says it's doing fine. My internet is not bad, but it's not good. And fuck you, Comcast. Fuck you, you asshole. So anyway, no, it's not just you and not just your computer going. It's my internet like being spotty as a cheetah, but not as fast as one. Anyway, it's around this area that just thinking about plans and stuff like that that I do want this to be I want all of the updates to be for patrons specifically, um, just as a form of like first of all like having a tight knit community of the people who are like supporting me. um, I want to reward them with that. But around this area, I might also release a, like, of course, just alpha version that you could download for a price, right? Like one of them early access things. I don't know where I'll be at this point or if that is a good time to do so, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, no, it's true. But question was, which version here do I anticipate having the I'm sorry, I don't know if I'll be able to hold out with this much longer here. My throat hurts so bad. Um, I think the question was, which version do I think I'll have the most trouble with, or which one do I anticipate having the hardest time with? And the answer is awesomely, again, up here, right? So this is where we're at, and I'll go ahead and make a little dividing line in my little shitty notepad. This will probably be this is where we're at, and this will probably be the hardest part. Is the scoring, creating and finding lobbies, and actually doing the UI and to control all of that and such. And then having match options that are respected. Currently, I will say there's here. Let me actually pop down. Maybe I can even get it to happen. There's a bug. I don't know if it's worth calling a bug. There's an issue. Oh, hold on. Sorry, wrong one. There's an issue in the game where so I've got five dodge balls right up in here, and then three health, right? And so if I do this and I boop and it paps him, you can see it goes down to two. My balls went down to four. And I go click again. And then if I click again, he's going to get hit and then respawn just to the right there, right? That works usually for the first time I do that. Sometimes even the second or third time. Uh, but it also breaks, and I don't really know why just yet. And part of it all has to do with, again, replication, which is the communicating between computers over a network, which is not something I've done before. So looking at this list here, the idea of scoring lobbies and options that are consistent for all players is probably going to be the like next hardest thing for me to do. Just because it's a new world, I'm having to learn as I create and work on it there. But this part, right, just having the game function where stuff bumps into other stuff and then it talks with each other and stuff happens, very comfortable with that. I've done a lot of that. I can do a lot of that here. The bodies and the meshes and the animations, that's all in Blender. That is stuff that I'm also very, very comfortable with. Um, Comfortable with animating in Blender, comfortable in using animations in Blender. Uh, Putting animations into Unreal and then having those animations play in Unreal is not something that I've had a lot of experience with. That was someone else's job, but that is again something that I'm at least more familiar with than networking. And so most of this should be pretty easy. It's going to be the networking and making sure that things happen for both the server and the client that is going to be probably the hardest part. Like I woke up this morning and I specifically sneezed. I didn't realize in the grogginess of just waking up that I was sick until I sneezed. I'd been awake for like 5 minutes and I was like, "Ah, I just need some water. It's fine." But then I sneezed and the like pressure from that and the like just sort of violence of it, new levels of pain, like new levels of pain. And I was like, "Oh no, I'm straight dying and I'm only now realizing it." But yeah, so that's the goal. That's where we're at. Again, and I'm gonna try and because I've been enjoying the streaming. Um, I feel bad because on the one hand, it has like slowed down the process of making this game a lot, but on the other hand, it's also given me a much easier way to show what I've made and what I'm working on with you guys, which is super fantastic. So that's a weird sort of like catch 22 where I'm moving a lot slower than I would have if I wasn't trying to stream this. But streaming is fun. I'm getting to talk with you guys. I just the channel's health is doing well. I'm at a point where I can probably have like an actual there's God, what is it called? YouTube hasn't. It's not like you're not becoming. Oh, it is a partner. Yeah, so I can actually become a YouTube partner soon-ish, which is great. So those sorts. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just apologized to my microphone. But yeah, I really want to get it up on Steam. I really want to get it out to you guys in some sort of fashion or another. But money is problematic. Money is like exceptionally problematic. Uh, I made a video, even just I think it was 2 months ago now, something like that, that says, "Have you ever wanted to quit your job?" Bear in mind that that is what I did, is I quit my job. So money has gotten, yeah, it's gotten fine. So the question is this a project I want to keep doing on my own, or would I accept any kind of help? Let's talk about money again. I could absolutely go for help. I would be happy to do part of a team. I would be happy to do a bunch of things. There is a specific thing that I want to create, and I want it to be created kind of a certain way. But I would, if anyone wants to help with it, I'd be more than happy to. There is an issue with that though, which is I tend to be a very I don't want to use the term like straight laced, but like I tend to be a sort of person where it's like I want to play by the rules and I want to play really well by those rules. And I feel really bad asking or accepting help from someone without being able to pay them for their time, right? If someone wants to do something for me, I want to be able to give them an immediate, like, thank you, here's the exchange, here's the thing that, like, I paid you to do. And I don't have a way to do that right now. So, yeah, just banking on the idea of, like, well, one day if we earn money, you can have this amount of it, right? Just always feels like a bad strategy. And also, if you're any sort of like self-respecting kind of person, you should try and do things in such a way that you are compensated for your time. Of course, if there's something you want to do, like feel free, but like do value your own time. So that's my stance on just working with other people on this project or any project really that I start on this channel is I'd love to, but I'm not in a place where I can pay people, and it would be really hard for me to sort of combat the guilt of getting free assistance. I'm sick right now. I've had like several people offer me to go like buy me soup, and I will not allow anyone to go buy me soup. I'm gonna walk my ass to the store, go get soup, and then come back. That's how I like to function. So, but yeah, it is up. I'm gonna make that post for the Wanderers on Patreon. Or I'm sorry, the Adventurers. I keep calling them the Wanderers. I don't. I You are the Adventurers, the people who are on this adventure with me, and I appreciate you guys. If any of you are here now, this is the shout out for you. So, thank you to my adventurers, especially. But yeah, I'm gonna make the post on there. Let's see if it's uploaded here. Um, did I close the window like a smart? No, I was over here looking for it. It is. It is. It should be uploaded there. So up there in the uploaded content, I've got the patrons only. And I'll post a link again for you guys to where this is. But the free assets was that rig I made for you guys and for myself, but you can use it. And then up here at the double-sided double version 0.01, you can download this. Coincidentally, if you decide to do it this way, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. So here I've got the file folder double. I should have zipped it. I might close this and zip it so that you don't have to deal with this issue. But in here is a file called Windows. You open that file and you'll see several things. This is the double-sided executable. This is what launches the game. However, if you do not have all of these other files in the same location as this, the game will not run. So you can't just download this one thing. You have to just download the whole file and you'll be able to do it. Let me. Yes, that's so. I've got someone here saying that they haven't been able to join the Discord, and I'm totally down to troubleshoot that with you because if you're having an issue, maybe someone else is. So let's check it out, okay? And just if you'd be so kind, let me know what it says when you click on the link. Like just if does it say link expired? Does it say what does it say? Let me know here. So we've gotten here, or conversely, like if you want to, um, no, I shouldn't do that way. So here, just double checking, right? That should be the link to the Discord server. Um, so yeah, give it a click, see what happens. Let me know and keep me posted, and I'll figure that out with you. But yeah, we've got stuff. Probably gonna sign off in just a few here. Actually, probably I'll sign off once we get that squared away with you there. And that's a fair question. Isn't being able to play the game a way of a form of payment for your time? Which it is. It is. There's like I don't want to downsell the reasons why people can or should commit their time to things they're interested in. Okay, so uh, I'm taking that to yeah, it works. Okay, cool, excellent. No, you're good. I just it's something where I truthfully, if something had gone wrong, I don't know that I don't know what I could have done to help you, but I could have tried again. Oh man, that's game development in a nutshell, right? Something goes wrong and you're like, well, I don't know what's going wrong, but I can smash my computer until it goes right. Oh man. Anyway, perfect. I'm glad that's working. But yeah, it is the reason why people commit their time to projects and things of interest. I don't want to discredit that. Like sometimes doing stuff for fun is plenty reason. Like doing things for fun and because you enjoy them is a very good reason. But also, I like to try to be humble and try to feel bad about being given things for free whenever I can. Uh, so bad habits. Anywho, that's the stuff. That's the thing. Oh, and just to make sure, I'll say it again. So Patreon is should be patreon.com/destryu. This is uploaded for the Wanderers, or I mean for the Adventurers. God, I need to stop doing that. This is for the adventurers, and if you download it, please download the whole file, not just the executable in there. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you hanging out today. Hopefully, I'll get better soon. I am quite sick, and talking has become just about the worst thing in the whole wide world. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. I'm still, as far as I know, planning to stream on Wednesday, another full development day. However, on Wednesday, we might actually take a visit on the board game. Like just let this sit for a few days and then come back and we'll give you a peek on the board game. Or I might do this. I don't know. If for any reason there is not a stream on Wednesday, it's because I did not get better. I got worse. So sorry, game. Game question mark. As in like what is the game and what are we working on? Which, if that's the question, let me post one last thing in chat here before I go. Um, because I'm going to assume that that's what the question is. Do. No, just game. Oh, wait. Unless also no. Anyway, this is the game that we're working on, which I will also post there. So if and despite that not being your question, uh, probably the other answer to your question of game is just yes, yes, game. But I'll see you guys. Get some rest. I'm definitely going to get some rest, and I will see you guys in the morning. So, thank you. And like I said, if there is no stream Wednesday, it's because again I didn't get better. I got worse or stayed the same. So, you guys have a good evening.